A very good morning to all children. As you know that we are discussing chapter number 10. We have discussed about secondary sexual characters in males and in females. We have also discussed about the hormones, and most important, we have also discussed about how the onset of puberty is controlled by hormones. Now in today's class we will discuss the reproductive phase of life in humans. What we will discuss? We will discuss that adolescents became capable of reproduction when the testes in boys start producing sperms and the ovaries in girls start producing ova. In women, the reproductive phase begins at puberty, that is 10 to 12 years of age, and it generally lasts up to 45 to 50 years. In our country, the legal age for marriage is 18 years for girls and 21 years for boys. The girls younger than 18 years of age are not prepared physically and mentally for motherhood. Early marriage and motherhood cause health problems in both mother and child. So what bete, we know that we attain the puberty at age of 10 to 12 years, but the government has fixed the age of for marriage is 18 years and for boys it is 21. It is because before this age the person or the female is not capable of handling the responsibility of a child when she is itself her a child. So the capacity of producing gametes lasts for a much more longer time in males than in females. In men, the reproductive phase begins at puberty and lasts as long as he is healthy throughout his life. But in females, this phase gets over by 45 to 50 years. Now we will discuss about the menstrual cycle. See what happens when a girl reaches puberty. The sex hormone estrogen causes either of the ovaries to release an ovum. So a ovum is released once in about 28 to 30 days. This process is called ovulation. So the release of ovum from the ovary is called ovulation. During this period, what happens? The inner lining of the uterus becomes thick and spongy and full of tiny blood vessels and prepares itself to receive the egg. In case the mature eggs get fertilized by the sperm in the fallopian tube, the fertilized egg cell begins to divide, form an embryo. The embryo gets embedded in the wall of the uterus. This results in pregnancy. Now what happens? This is all in case when the eggs get fertilized. But what happens if the egg is not fertilized? Due to the non-availability of sperms in fallopian tubes, then the thick and soft inner lining of the uterus is no longer needed and hence it breaks. So the thick and soft inner lining of the uterus along with the blood and the dead ovum comes out from the vagina and form in the form of bleeding, which is called menstruation. This menstruation usually occurs 14 days after ovulation and usually lasts for 3 to 5 days. When menstruation is over, the inner lining of the wall again starts building up so that it may become ready to receive the next ovum in case it did not get the fertilized. Menstrual cycle occurs in women about 28 to 30 days. If the ovum get fertilized, menstruation stop and the female get pregnant. The fertilized eggs get embedded. Embedded means fixed up in the uterus for further development. Now moving on to the next topic. that is menarche and menopause. The first menstrual flow which begins at puberty is called menarche. Menarche means the starting. This marks the beginning of reproductive life, and menopause is the stoppage of menstrual flow at the age between 45 to 50 years in females. It is called menopause. Menarche means starting, menopause means stopping. Now next is determination of a sex of a baby. How we will come to know the whether the female is having a male or a female child. We know that chromosomes are present inside the nucleus of every cell. So chromosomes are thread-like structures that carry information in the form of genes. All human beings have 23 pair of chromosomes in the nucleus of their cells. Out of these 46 chromosomes, 44 are autosomes. Autosomes means they are identical in males and females. दोनों में same होते हैं. But remaining 2 chromosomes are sex chromosomes. These are represented as X and Y. See, from the left hand side, if you say in a girl child, 2 chromosomes are there, both XX. And in the male, 1 X and 1 Y. In females, the cell contain 2 identical chromosomes. Females के अंदर दोनों identical मतलब same chromosomes होते हैं X और X. So the chromosomes in females are represented as XX. In males, the cell contains 2 different chromosomes, X and Y. So the chromosomes in males, sex chromosomes in males are represented by XY. So what happened? Each gamete contains only one hormone. An egg always contains X, whether a sperm may contain X or Y. If the sperm having X chromosome fertilize the egg, अगर फीमेल के पास दोनों ही XX है तो there is hardly a difference, और मेल के पास एक X है और एक Y है. ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ फ्यूजन अगर मेल का X वाला पार्ट फीमेल के X वाले पार्ट से कंबाइन करेगा, ज्वाइन करेगा, तो दे विल फॉर्म अ गर्ल चाइल्ड. अगर मेल का Y वाला स्पर्म पार्ट जो X के साथ कंबाइन करेगा, देन इट विल बिकम अ boy child. So if the sperm having X chromosome fertilize the egg, the zygote would have 2 X chromosomes. It develops into a female child. If the sperm carrying the Y chromosome fertilizes the egg, the zygote would have 1 X and 1 Y chromosome. It develops into a male child. So now what we will come to know that the male is responsible, you can say the father is responsible for determining the sex, not the mother. What belief we are having? That mother is responsible for the birth of a girl or a boy child, which is not correct. Females are having the same set of chromosomes. The different set of chromosomes are there for male side, and whomsoever will join together, will fuse together, they will decide the sex of the child. Now moving on to the next topic, that is endocrine glands and their functions. See bete, pituitary gland. You have to just learn the name of the gland, which hormone it is secreting, and what are the functions they are doing. First is pituitary gland. It is growth hormone and other hormones. What is its function? It controls the overall growth of the body, development of muscles and bones. 2 things can happen. First is dwarfism and second one is gigantism. Dwarfism means होता है बोना, छोटा. अगर इस हार्मोन की सिक्रीशन लेस है, हाइपो सिक्रीशन है, तो द पर्सन विल बिकम शॉर्ट हाइटेड, यानी ड्वार्फ, बोना बनेगा. If excessive secretion, that is hyper secretion of the growth hormone, makes a person very tall, and the condition is known as gigantism. Next is thyroid glands. See, thyroid gland is located in the neck region below the larynx. It is releasing the thyroxine hormone, and it stimulates the rate of cellular oxidation of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Goiter, it is a disease. Iodine is necessary for the formation of thyroxine hormone. The deficiency of iodine in the diet of a person produces less thyroxine hormone and causes a disease known as goiter. Next is adrenal glands. Adrenaline and aldosterone, these are the two types of hormones released by it. It controls emotions like fear, anger, blood pressure regulation, heartbeat. And aldosterone, it balances or regulates in the body. Hyposecretion causes Addison disease. इसकी अगर कंडीशन जो है ज़्यादा हो जाए या कम हो जाए, it may cause a hyposecretion, means less secretion of aldosterone causes Addison disease. Now we will talk about pancreas, which results in the secretion of insulin and glucagon to lower the blood sugar levels, diabetes. When the person, insulin का काम क्या है? It lowers the blood sugar level. And when a person does not produce or secrete less amount of insulin, the sugar levels in blood increases, causing a disease called diabetes. And diabetes causes many harmful effects in human beings. And glucagon converts glycogen into glucose, thus increases the blood sugar level. Now moving on to the next topic, that is role of hormones in completing the life history or life cycle of insects and frogs. See, the larva or caterpillar has to pass through various stages to become an adult silk moth. So the transformation of larva into an adult through drastic changes is called metamorphosis. And this metamorphosis in insects is controlled by hormones. And in frog, the tadpole passes through certain stages to become an adult frog. So the metamorphosis in frog is controlled by thyroxine hormone, which is secreted by thyroid glands. Presence of iodine in water is required for the production of thyroxine in the frog's body. If the water in which the tadpoles are growing does not contain sufficient iodine, the tadpoles cannot become adult frog. So this is about the role of hormones. Now we will discuss about the reproductive health. See, bete, very small I have written, but very big to discuss. Health of an individual is defined as his or her state of physical, social, and mental well-being. And an adolescent should follow a healthy lifestyle which includes proper nutrition, personal hygiene, physical exercise, and maintaining good habits to be healthy and fit. So, we will discuss in detail what are an adolescent should follow. First is proper nutrition. An adolescent requires a balanced diet for that age group. The diet which contains adequate amount of all essential nutrients like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals and vitamins sufficient for the normal growth and development of the body is called a balanced diet. A balanced diet helps the bones, muscles and other body parts to get complete nourishment required for rapid growth. The diet of an adolescent should include sugar, cereals, butter, ghee, oil for energy, milk, meat, nuts and pulses provide proteins for the growth, fruits and vegetables for protection against diseases. The Indian meal, which consists of chapati, rice, dal and vegetables, is a balanced meal. Chips, packed foods, canned foods, though very tasty, should never replace regular meals. ये नहीं है कि बेटा अगर आपने एक टाइम पर कोई चिप्स खा लिया तो यू विल स्किप योर लंच. नो. They do not have an adequate nutritional value. Similarly, junk foods like burgers, noodles, soft drinks should not be used as substitute of a meal. Now next is personal hygiene. See bete, to be hygienic is very important during this stage of life. Personal hygiene is essential to prevent infections and occurrence of diseases. The adolescents should follow the given tips to maintain personal hygiene. Increase activity of sweat and sebaceous glands make the body smell badly. So the adolescent should take a bath every day. They should always wash hands with soap before and after taking meals. They should change their clothes daily. Girls should take special care of cleanliness during the time of menstruation. They should keep track of their menstruation cycle and be prepared for the onset of menstruation. The third one is physical exercise. Physical exercise keeps the body and mind fit and healthy. All adolescents should take long walks, brisk walking, running, cycling, yoga in open air. Keep the body fit, healthy. They must play outdoor games to build up strong bones and muscles. Now say no to drugs. See bete, adolescents can easily get addicted. Addicted means habitual. The adolescents can easily be addicted to drugs, alcohol, tobacco because of the stress or sometimes due to adventure spirit. You feel adventure or you feel some excitement and you go for these things. A positive adolescent must say no to drugs, alcohol and tobacco because these things cause many physical and mental diseases. So smoking of tobacco in the form of cigarettes increases the risk of lung cancer and heart attacks. Tobacco chewing in the form of pan masala leads to oral cancer. Oral cancer means mouth cancer. Consumption of alcohol causes serious damage to nervous system. It also damages to stomach, liver and kidneys. The harmful drugs like cocaine, heroin and opium damage the nervous system and other body organs. So we should always say no to drugs and no to all these alcoholic items. Once a person starts taking drugs, he or she becomes dependent on it. And this dependency is known as addiction and which makes it difficult for people to stop taking drugs. Now moving on to the next topic and the last topic, which is AIDS. An adolescent must maintain clean life to prevent the sexually transmitted disease. सी बेटे, हमारे बॉडी फ्लूइड्स ट्रांसफ़र होने से बहुत सारी हमें डिजीज़ेस भी होती हैं लाइक सिफिलिस, एड्स. एंड एड्स इज़ वन ऑफ द डेंजरस डिजीज़ AIDS stands for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. AIDS is caused by HIV, that is human immunodeficiency virus. And what AIDS do? AIDS weakens the immunity of human body. AIDS जो है वो हमारी बॉडी की इम्यूनिटी को वीक कर देता है. Now how it is transmitted, and one more thing beta, what happens, AIDS weakens the immunity of human body, therefore body becomes prone to many other infectious or disease. AIDS is spread in the following ways: through the transfusion of blood from the person infected with HIV to a normal person, through the use of infected needles. The children of AIDS infected mother may get this disease from mother's blood, through sexual contact with HIV infected person. So this is the, and there is a myth bete, that by air or by saliva, by closed mouth kissing, insects or pets, by sharing toilets, food, drinks, AIDS cannot transfer. So HIV or AIDS transferred only by changing the body fluids, either by sexual contact or by sharing needles or from mother to the offsprings. Okay, so this is all about the today's topic. I hope you have understood this topic. You need to attempt the assignment for it and upload on your assessed site. Thank you.